guys, it's Heidi again and welcome back to another episode of Baby Names Sunday. If you guys are new here, every single Sunday I upload a baby names list here on YouTube full of really uncommon and rare baby names that I'd love to share with you. I also do have an Instagram account down here that I will link, and also our family's Instagram account as well. So definitely go check them out on my baby name Instagram. I always am uploading new baby name posts and doing some really fun games on there, and there's such a great community on there that definitely helped a little bit with today's video. So today we are doing nautical and ocean inspired baby names, ones that are completely head over heels for people who have their heart at sea. And I have a ton of names to share with you guys, so let's get into it. So first on the list, we are going to start off with an amazing and absolutely stunning boy's name. That is the name Cerulean, so spelled C-E-R-U-L-E-A-N. This one is definitely a longer boy's name, but I think it has the perfect ring and perfect description of what truly the sea is. Like, it is the color cerulean. It is this dark, deep kind of azure color, which is also another really great name. And I believe that this is just so perfect to start off with this list. And for a little boy, I think it just has this really big, bold sound to it. Cerulean. Like, it sounds so strong. And I think it is absolutely perfect for a little baby that is inspired by the sea. So speaking of power, another amazing boy's name that I have on the list here is the name Zale, so spelled Z-A-L-E. This one's actually Greek inspired, and it actually means power of the sea. So this is another really great, bold, powerful name. I feel like Zale almost sounds like a god, like a sea god's name, just with that 4 letters with the Z at the beginning. It's very easy to pronounce, very easy to spell. It reminds me of the name Kale, so very similar, Zale Kale. But if you're looking for something a little bit more ocean and sea inspired, Zale would be absolutely perfect for you. Moving on to the third name on the list, it's again another boy's name, but this one has been kind of like an absolute favorite of mine for the nautical theme names, and that is the name Cruise, so spelled C-R-U-I-S-E, like the cruise ship. I personally like this spelling the best. You can do C-R-U-Z or you can do C-R-E-W. So it does have a couple different spellings and variations of the name, but I really love C-R-U-I-S-E just because it really defines vacation to me. I actually know and follow a girl on Instagram. Her and her husband go cruising all the time. They met on a cruise and they named their son Cruise, and they named their 2 other kids a couple other nautical names that I will be mentioning a little bit later. But I thought that was so cool. It has a symbolism between the parents, and you named your child after something that both you and your significant other enjoy doing and enjoy doing together. And I thought that was really cool. So you can kind of work baby names in that kind of sense as well. Next on the list is a really cool nautical term for the left side of a ship or a boat, and that is the name Port, so spelled P-O-R-T, short and simple, and it sounds super bold. This is like a nickname version of a couple more longer names like Porter or Portland. Imagine just using Port. It sounds really strong, like with that strong T at the end, Port. I love the sound of Portland, like I love that name. If you're maybe looking for a name that doesn't have a particular nickname, Port would be such a great option for you, and it definitely has those nautical vibes that we are looking for. And on to another boy's name that is only 4 letters again, and that is the name Riggs, so spelled R-I-G-S. So this one's a word inspired name, and it actually describes the chains and the ropes that are used to hold the ship's mast up. And you can't have a boat without the rigs. So I think that this is such a cool, definitely edgy name, but again, another short 4-letter name. Imagine 2 boys or siblings, Port and Riggs. I think that is so cool if you're wanting to go all out, sea, ocean, nautical inspired. Those are the names for you. I think they're so fun, definitely unique. I've never heard of any of these names really being used, and that's exactly why I love them. So next on my list is a girl's name, and this one I think is just so beautiful, and it just has this stunning sound to it, and that is the name Pacifica, so spelled P-A-C-I-F-I-C-A. I love this. I think that if you want to go for a boy's name, you can totally name him Pacific. I feel like if I close my eyes, I just think of the Pacific Ocean. And it actually is a Spanish originated name, and the way that they pronounce it is like Pacifica. I know I'm totally butchering that, but it is so gorgeous with the way that they sounded. I can't do it, but it actually means tranquility and it means peace. When you're on a boat and you're just sitting there, the water, you can hear it, and it just sounds so peaceful and it's very tranquil. And I think that this is a great descriptive word for it. All right, so remember how I was telling you how there's a couple who named their son Cruz, and then they had a couple other kids and named them nautical names as well? So they named their little baby girl Sailor, so spelled S-A-I-L-O-R. Yes, Cruz Sailor. And then they just had a little baby boy who's about Aries' age, and his name is Ocean. So I love this. Sailor is such an amazing girl's name. This is probably like moving up my ranks for my favorite girls' names right now, because I think it just has this really captain of the ship vibe to me, and I think it's really strong for a little girl. You can also spell Sailor a couple different ways. Lots of people put a Y in there instead of the I, S-A-Y-L-O-R, but I love it. I've also seen Baylor, B-A-Y-L-O-R, as an option as well. That's a little bit different, but I absolutely just love the name Sailor, and I think it's perfect for a little baby girl. Back to the boy side, this one is also a really great name for a boy, and when I came across it as I was looking for names for the list, I was like, oh my goodness, this is so great. And that is the name Batten, so spelled B-A-T-T-E-N. And a batten is actually a part of the ship to keep it up and helps make the boat move in the right direction. It has this almost like a French now sound to it with the two T's, batten. And it's funny because it's a part of a sailboat, and I'm like, how does it have this royalty sound? But it just has that sound to it with the two T's. I feel that almost gives it that little bit of a royal feel. Let me know if I'm crazy. Moving on to the next name, this one I have a boy's version and kind of a girl's version as well that would totally work, but that is the name Isle, so spelled I-S-L-E. Or for a girl, to make it a little bit more feminine, you can add a T on the end. You can go for Islet or Isla, so I-S-L-E-T or I-S-L-A. Super pretty name and super handsome name for either a boy or a girl. I feel like this name is very versatile, very unisex, and all three of them are word names meaning island or a peninsula. They're very cutesy names for either boy or a girl, and that's what really drew me to them. Next, I have a girl's name, and this one is gorgeous. And that is the name Marilla, so spelled M-A-R-I-L-L-A. And this one's actually a Celtic originated name meaning shining sea. This is so gorgeous. I think it just screams beauty. This one with the I-L-L-A at the end, I feel like it gives a little bit of a classic vintage and this elegance to the name. And it sounds like it should be a goddess's name, like a sea goddess's name. And I love the nicknames for this one. You can do Rilla, R-I-L-L-A. There's Ari, or there's even Mary, just short and sweet, classic Mary. And I think that it is a very gorgeous, elegant flair to an ocean-inspired name. Moving on to a boy's name, this one is Handsome. I think it is beyond handsome, and that is the name Tanum, so spelled T-A-N-I-M. And this one's actually a Muslim boy's name, and get the meaning. This is an absolutely beautiful meaning for a boy's name. Waves of the sea, or the rhythm of the sea. I love this meaning. I think this is probably my favorite meaning on the list. And Tanum, it reminds me of Tatum, which is a really great name that's out there right now. That one is used for a unisex, either boy or a girl. I love that name, but I feel like this one could be like an alternative or a different option if you're looking for something maybe a little bit more masculine, maybe not so unisex. Tanum would be totally up your alley. I think it is just absolutely handsome with an amazing meaning behind the name as well. Now on to our next name that is definitely a unisex name, and that is the name Harbor, so spelled H-A-R-B-O-R. This one, geez Louise, honestly, H names, Harbor, Haven, Honor, those H word names, like actual word inspired names, have just been, ooh, I've been loving them. But I think Harbor is just so sweet for a boy or for a girl. I definitely would probably use this more for a girl. Harbor is that section in like normally like a bay where boats come to and ships come to dock. But just imagine like harbor and haven for a boy and a girl, or even like girl and a girl. I love these H names. So Harbor definitely had to make my list, and a lot of girls on Instagram, they were like Harbor, Harbor, and they also were mentioning Sailor as well. So next on the list is another girl's name, and this one is beautiful, and that is the name Pelagia, so spelled P-E-L-A-G-I-A. This one is a Greek inspired name meaning dweller by the sea, so absolutely perfect. Apparently this name is used in Greece, in Russia, and Poland. So let me know if that's true. It's more of an uncommon name, but it's more so used there. I've never heard of the name Pelagia before, and Davian was like, this one is so pretty, I love it. I had trouble pronouncing it because there is a couple different pronunciations depending on where you live in the world. But to me and to us, we would pronounce it as Pelagia. And then Pelagia also comes with a few nicknames. There's Peggy, so cute. And then more shorter form, there could be Gia, G-I-A. So a couple really great pronunciation, different variations depending on where you live. And then some really great nicknames that come from this name. I just thought it sounded really beautiful. Falls into that kind of whimsical category as well. And now I have another girl's name that sounds again like a goddess's name, and it's actually the name of a sea nymph, and that is the name Ephyra, so spelled E-P-H-Y-R-A. It has a very similar spelling to like Zephyr, Z-E-P-H-Y-R. It has that P-H-Y-R in it as well. So I feel like Ephyra and Zephyr would almost kind of go well together for like siblings. But Ephyra was actually a daughter of Oceanus, the Titan god of the river in Greek mythology. And Ephyra was actually an Oceanid goddess nymph. So she was a sea goddess, and Ephyra actually means fiery. So this one's a little bit more edgier, a little spunky, but with a very gorgeous goddess sound to it, and I love that. And then we have a few more names on this list. I had a ton of names for you guys. My next one that I have is the name Nori, so spelled N-O-R-I. This one's actually a Japanese origin name, literally meaning seaweed. It's actually the name of the seaweed that is used in Japanese cuisine. And Nori though is used quite often as a nickname. Like for example, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, they have their daughter North and they nickname her Nori. And I think it has this cute ring to it. I've always loved the nickname Nori, and Nori's Japanese originated, which obviously you guys know I love Japanese names. So this one definitely had to be on the list because it's different, it's definitely unique. It has a little bit of a sea inspired seaweed. I mean, there's no ocean without seaweed in it. And then the next name that I have on this list is a name that was submitted on my Instagram, and she sent me the name Alluvion, so spelled A-L-L-U-V-I-O-N. And this one's actually a word, like a dictionary word inspired name, meaning water washing against the shore. What a great meaning. It sounds so perfect for this theme. So thank you, A Sketchy Journey, A_sketchy_journey, for sending this name in. I loved it. I thought it was super cool. And I saw there was a couple nicknames that I had to add, which was like Lulu, Luvi, and also Ali. So there's 3 nicknames for you guys for Alluvion, because I think it is definitely a more longer name, and longer names normally come with really great nicknames, and I think those ones are perfect. All right, so Aries just woke up from his nap, so he's gonna join me to ring in our very final name on the list, and that is the name Reyes, so spelled R-A-Y-A-N. So this one, super handsome. It reminds me of the name Ryan, like the classic name Ryan, a little bit different, Rayan. I love the ring to it, and it kind of reminds me of a ray of sunshine as well. But Rayan's actually Arabic originated, exotic, I love that, and it actually means land that is lush and rich in water. I thought it had a really nice sound to it, and I love how it ends with the A-N. I think it has a soft meaning to it, and I think a lot of you guys would absolutely love the name. But before I end off the video, I did want to give a couple notable mentions from my Instagram, Baby Name Sunday. Again, I'll have it linked down below. But a lot of you guys have been following me on there and sending me some really great nautical and ocean inspired names. Super fun. We're always talking about names and there's such a great community. And I will also link down a couple accounts that are name accounts as well, so you guys can take a look and get inspiration from them. But a few other names that were mentioned: Reef, the name Delta, Orlando, Caspian. There was Kai, so like a lot of really great ocean inspired names there. There's also a few like Cove, Pearl, Coralie for girls, or even Anchor is another really amazing name, and even like the name Skipper. All right, so that was the list. Thank you guys so much for watching. I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to so many name accounts on Instagram, and then also a few of the subscribers that did send in some of the names on my Instagram when I did ask you guys for some nautical and ocean inspired names. Thank you guys so much for sending them in. I will definitely have a couple of you guys linked down below for their Instagram accounts. Definitely go check them out. Some of them down below are Instagram accounts that have names that are definitely more inspiration for you guys if you guys are looking for names. But thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next Sunday with another Baby Names episode, and I hope you guys are taking care and staying safe. Bye!